Morning everybody, just doing a pretty short stream. I've got an hour I can work on the game, so I thought I'll stream it. So, hi Ollie boy, only waited, we could have raided you. Alright, let's find out about it. I'm just scrambling a bit to try and get stuff done, so we'll see where we get to. I'll show you what I've got at the minute. Here we go. So this is a menu. That's all the menu's going to be. Nothing more interactive than pressing a button to start. Then we can control the little guy and the kitchen and the engine. Those are the two hazards I'm having in. There were going to be 6, but I'm not going to have time to do them. So you can currently fix. At the moment, the health of the ship is going down. It's just not visually shown anywhere yet, so that's something I need to do. So that's basically the mechanic there of fixing the ship and keeping it going. And then we have this fisherman dude. And he basically at the moment fires a hook down. If that hook hits a fish swimming by, then it grabs the fish. So what I'll do, because all I've got is one of each fish happening to spawn at the beginning. We'll try and time it to catch one. Am I going to do it? No. Because it does actually work. Go on, hit it. Yeah, see, so there it catches the fish. At the moment, brings it up and just goes forever, so that's something else I need to fix. Getting it registering that it's been caught and adding to the player's score. So I think first of all what I need to do is give some visual representation of when the player's actually fixing something. So at the minute, it's hand moves, but I'm going to make some like dust clouds just come out to make it look better. So that is what we will do first today. The art's very cohesive, well done. Cheers. Yeah, I love doing my pixel art. I often in jams get sucked into just spending hours drawing the art and then remembering that I have to make a game with it as well. Right, so I've got to be quite small, this effect. Player 16 by 16. Probably doesn't need to be any bigger than that, or it's going to look silly. Get my palette. Rosy 42 is the palette that I've used for the game. I think we'll probably just make it as a little dust cloud that just gets bigger. So we'll start with something like that. I'm not going to spend a long time on this. Another one there, another bit there. A bit there and a bit there. Get rid of that middle bit. I want it to go in more of an upwards bit as opposed to an explosion. Something really simple. I can go back to this at a later date and make it look better. Casper Dragonwolf, thanks for the raid. How are you doing? I'm just working on a game for Godot Wild Jam, which finishes in roughly 10 hours. I'm just working on a visual effect at the minute. I'll show you what the game actually looks like. It's in not a finished state, and I don't know how finished it's going to be because I've only probably got 2 or 3 hours at the most to work on it today. But the theme of the jam's ocean. The wild cards were to include a fishing minigame in it, record all the sounds with your voice, and have a pun in there. So the pun, I've got that in with the title of the game. I'm working on a fishing little minigame as part of the mechanic. The voice sounds, I think the chances of me getting any sounds in the game for the jam are probably 0 at the moment, but we'll see how that goes later in the day. So basically you control a little guy. He's got to keep the ship going. So when either this kitchen or this engine breaks, he has to quickly go up and fix them. And then, so you're controlling him, fixing things. Then we've got this little guy up here who's fishing. At the minute we've just got a hook that goes down. I need to spawn more fish, but when that hits a fish, it catches it and brings it back up. So I've got the ship's health, the score, they're all sort of being recorded in the background and not shown at the minute. So I've got a basic game loop nearly there, but it's nowhere near as fully expanded as I was hoping 9 days ago. So I'm just making a little effect at the minute for when the player's fixing something, just like a little dust cloud. What have you been doing on your stream? So crunch time, yeah, it is, but I did hope to have a lot more time this week to work on this game, and it's just not happened. Right, so let's save this. That'll do. Not spending hours on this. Been working on my Godot Manager project, getting closer and closer to a version 0.1 release. Cool. I'll probably take a check out of your VOD and see what you were up to. Basically think of Unity Hub for Godot. Oh, cool. I have used Unity, although to be honest it's not an engine that particularly I have much time for. It just don't click with me. I've done a few jams using it, but I'm trying this year to fully commit to Godot. So with that in mind, I'm going to try and do the Wild Jam every month this year. So we'll see how I manage with that. That's my player folder. Just copy this animation over that I've just created. Right, so that's that texture in there. So let's create a scene for this. It doesn't need to be anything other than a sprite with an animation player. So far I have it able to import projects, install Godot engine versions, download add-ons, template projects from the Godot asset library. Was working on tonight, getting a new project creation going, almost there. Is it going to be a free program, or will it be paid, or is it just something you're really doing just for the community to help? Free and open source with donation option. Oh, that's cool. It seems a really good community, does the Godot community. I've been using Godot on and off for about 12 months, but I've been sort of flip-flopping between Construct Free and Godot, because Construct was the engine I first started using about 8 years ago, and because I can do everything without thinking in that, I've always, as soon as I start struggling, I go back to what I'm comfortable with. But this year I've really try to commit to not touching Construct and battling through any issues I have, so that I can get as comfortable with Godot as I am with Construct. So that's the aim anyway, we'll see how it goes. So this animation, let's... So that'll do. It's definitely not the best effect I've ever drawn, but it's getting to that point where I just need to get things in. Something I learned yesterday, never thought of doing. Normally when I spawn an effect like this, I then in a script Q3 it, but I think it was you, Ollie Boy, I saw yesterday adding the method in. Just in here. I can't remember how you actually did it. Oh, that was someone else. Ah, right, I knew I'd seen someone do it and I can't remember how they actually added it in. So make a method tracking the animation player. So I've done that. And then add the Q3 method. Ah, yep. Voila. Because normally I mess about it. It should mean that on effects and things I don't need to add a script, because it really is pointless having scripts on something so simple that you're just basically going to spawn and destroy. So yeah, game changer. I have used this method track occasionally to trigger things like when I was working on a platformer, to trigger little dust effects when the player's feet are touching the ground, but I'd never thought of adding the Q3 in there. Right, so I need to work out Not the fisherman, I need the player. It's a real mess, this code. I'm going to have to refactor it after the jam and then add all the other stuff I want in, but I'm tracking the repairing things. I'm getting the input in both the player script and the item script as well, and doing different things. I need to hook up signals and do it in one central place, but it's a few days since I did this, so I can't even remember exactly how I did it. Thanks for the follow, Casper Dragonwolf. Much appreciated. I'm hoping to get affiliate very shortly. I've got the followers, but I think after this stream, I'm still one stream short of the required number of streams in the last month, so I should get that this week, because I'm going to stream follow-up work on this game, and also I'm taking part in another jam, which is over various rounds, and first round you had to create a player with a unique ability, which I created a player that farted. And then this week you've got to add some mechanic that uses the superpower in the game. So I'm planning on adding a whoopee cushion that the player farts into. That inflates it, and then it uses it as a springboard to jump to higher platforms. So that's going to be a stream this week as well. Interested to see Godot used by pros. I've just mucked about with it so far. So you're going to watch him. I'm very, very much at the early stages of learning this engine. Right. I can't even remember where they had this stuff going on. I'll open Visual Studio Code, see if I can do a search in there and find exactly where. Line 46 in the player script. Right, I'm going to do it in the actual individual items, so because I call this every second, so we'll do it there. I think that's probably the best place to pop it. So we need to add a reference into that dust thing. And where is it? It's in player You've also taken part in a brand new series of 6-hour game jams called Gaming 6. I certainly am, Sticks. And I will also... I'll pop a link to that in chat. It's a game jam that we're doing next Saturday, where you have 6 hours to make something, whether it be a mechanic, a game. I think it all depends on the theme, which, if I'm right, Sticks is being released today, the theme. So there's the link for the jam. Hope your stream goes well. I'm off to bed. Have a good night. Cheers, Casper Dragonball. Thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. And thanks for the follow. Hi, bud. How are you doing? Wow, that typing extension. Yeah, it's pretty cool, that, isn't it? Gamifying coding. Yeah, when's the theme stream, Sticks? So let's finish adding this scene in. So if you're interested in the jam and you want to see the big theme reveal, I'm presuming it's happening today, Sticks. But Sticks does a lot of game dev and playing games. So if you want to give him a follow, and Bud Pico the same. He's also a fellow streamer. He's currently heavily into playing Project Zomboid, but he does game dev as well. Unity, he's done some game dev for the Commander X16, if I remember the name of it right as well. So check him out and give him a follow as well. Right, so let's get on with getting this dust effect working. So it's in the player scene and then it's dust effect. Right. What we'll do is add in to the engine scene where we want this effect to actually spawn. So we'll just add in a position 2D. And we'll spawn it there. And we'll have another one as well. We'll spawn 2 of these effects. Duplicate. Right, let me remember how to spawn things. So we're doing it here. Dust. So create an instance of the dust scene. And then add and set position. Set it to the position 2D. Should be a dollar sign, not a pound sign. Why have I put a dot there? Probably starting about 12ish, but we'll announce theme after you're finished Frozen. Well, I've just stuck the game types mechanics on a wheel, so we'll give it a spin on stream. I'm probably only streaming till about 12. I just sort of had a spare hour, so I thought I'll just jump on here, do a little bit more dev on this game. I may get a chance later on this evening to do another couple of hours, but that'll be at the very end of the jam, so we'll see if I've had any time in between to get anything done or not, because I may need to just concentrate. Cool, so it'll be a surprise to you too. How many different game types mechanics is there going to be the options of? How many is going to be on your wheel? So add child dust, dust position equals position 2D. I could split this out into a function to avoid duplication, but we'll... add that to the second one. Right, let's see if that works. So that's only going to work on the engine, so let's hope that the engine works. I've nicked your game title as well, Sticks. I couldn't think of anything better than Ship Happens, so... Good, it's going to that one next. So let's see if these... I may need global position for that, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't want any advantages. There's about 16 and then they'll be used each time and used once removed. Nice. How often are we doing this? Monthly, every couple of months, weekly? I always get confused when to use position and when to use global position, so I do tend to end up just using global. Come on, engine, brake first. The kitchen seems to be braking first every time, but they're both creating a random number, so they should equally have a chance of braking. Oh. I think what's happening, I'm not actually playing the animation, so I may still need a script anyway. Right, I think that should play it now. Let's see what happens. Morning at you. How are you? See how this one goes, but ideally bi-weekly. Guess who has to self-isolate? I'm presuming that's you. Are you ill or how are you? I'm great. Other half tested positive though. So probably only a matter of time. Yeah, it seems to be that way that once one family member, everyone seems to get it. But fingers crossed you both don't get it too badly. Yeah, I'm just trying to get this game finished off at you, but it's going to be very basic by the time it's finished. I don't know why this isn't playing, so I'm just going to add a script in there and just start playing it in ready. There must be a way of doing it in the actual inspector, because I'd hope to do away with this with having not got the Q3 in here. See if that works. A few other things I need to work on. I need to work on the logic for the fishing line, because at the minute it just fires the hook down, but I need to make it so you can recall it if you know you're going to miss the fish, and also to destroy itself when it gets to the top again. Because at the minute you can only cast your fishing line once. There we go, we'll get as little effect going now, so that's one thing ticked off my Trello board. Right, what have I got to do next? Right, I need to add this dust effect into the kitchen scene as well, because at the moment it's only in the engine scene. Again, I should have this in a more central place so it works in everything, but that can be a problem for future me. So kitchen, add that scene in there. And it's just a base. Copying this slot in and then adding a couple of position 2D nodes to this scene as well. So we should now have a dust effect when we fix the kitchen as well. Probably do with being a little bit more visible, especially as I've got the same colour for the splashback there as the effect. So I'll have a look at changing that at some point. I'll quickly add a note of that on my to-do list. Back in a sec, the dog's just decided to bark at its shadow, I think. Sorry about that. Neighbours decided they're having a new fence put up and it's down at the minute, so dog can see the neighbour's dog and keeps going mental at it at the door when it sees it. That's that done. What shall I do next? I'll have a look at adding the display for the player health in. So what we're going to do is let's load the level scene. We'll create probably a separate scene for the UI to have in there, but I'll build it in the level scene for now. We'll add a canvas layer for the UI, and then to that I'm pretty sure there's something I can use as a bar, but I can't remember what it's called. Time for a Google. Progress bar, which need to have a look at. I've used one months and months ago, but I can't remember exactly how it works. So max value 100, that's fine because the ship health max is 100. So we'll add a script to the UI. And then in process, we'll let's have a look what it's actually got. So percent. Just trying to work out how to actually set this. See if I can find an example. Right, do I need to give this some textures to actually make it visible? So that's that is working, but there must be some place where I can actually give this an actual texture. Problem with doing new stuff on stream, it doesn't make the most interesting watching, but I'm wondering if I just give it a sprite as a child. Right, I think I've used the wrong node. It should be a texture progress. That one. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. The ability to put textures on there. So we need to quickly draw a texture. Hey, how are you doing? How's the game going? How many hours left of the jam now? Just over 9 hours. It finishes at 9 o'clock tonight. The game, I'll show you where we're up to. I'm just currently trying to figure out adding a health bar for the ship. But get rid of that, because that's breaking it at the moment. Yeah, we've got a menu. You press space. You've got a kitchen and an engine that break, and when they're broken on the second level of being broken, they start causing damage to the ship. Ship damage gets to 0, game over. So you can fix that. The engine, similar sort of thing. Stops working. You fix it and carry on, and then you've got this fisherman dude up here, which at the minute he can fish once his hook goes down, and if he had some fish going on the bottom, if that hook catches the fish, it grabs it and pulls it up, but then does nothing else with it. So that's something else still not working, but we're getting there. We're getting a basic game loop nearly working. Looking great, sticking. Yep. Not sure how much more I'll get done, but we'll have something to submit, which is all that matters. Right, I think that'll set the value, but we need to make a visual representation for this. I've done this before, so I'm going to cut corners and just see if I can find one that I've previously used. Like normal, I'll probably spend more time looking for it than I could have actually drawn it in. Right, I may have found something suitable. I shall just change the name of them and then copy them into the project. So let's copy these over now. I'll select this and drag these textures onto it. So under progress over. So I think if we set the value we now have a health bar. Could do with changing a little size wise and styling, but for now that'll probably have to do. Right, so let's hook that up so that that takes the current ship's health. What did I call that? Boat health. Have I got that value clamped? Because I don't want the bar to start going into zero figures or at any point. Right, I'm going to add that in as something to do later, I think. Shall I just do it now? Yeah, we'll add a function that can just do it in process. I was going to do a function that when you pass the value in, it checked things, but we'll just do it the quick way. Right, let's have a look and see if that health bar actually works now. So once one of these things breaks and that exclamation mark becomes 2, that bar should start going down. Yep, I don't know why it took so long to start, but it is going down, so we'll call that a win for now. How much longer will you stream? I might put my stream back on when you're wrapping up. To be honest, probably going to be finishing any time. 12 o'clock was roughly when I had till, so if you want to fire up your stream now, Ollie boy, I'm more than happy to come and raid you. Ollie boy is currently working on the Godot Wild Jam as well. If you want to check him out, that's his channel. Right, you'll be 5 minutes. Yep, no problem. What we'll do, let's have a look at my to-do list. What can we be doing? Right, let's have a look at when the player casts that fishing line. What I want to do is, if the player knows he isn't going to catch a fish, I want them to be able to then recall it. So I just need to figure out a nice way of doing this, because so we spawn in the fishing line. I think the way I'm doing this is causing me more problems, because I'm emitting a signal and then having it spawn at a specific point in the level scene. Maybe if I just make it a child of this scene, that might be the way to go, because then I'll have a reference to that, to this fishing line scene. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best way. Let's have a look for the... So for now we'll just comment the rest of this out in case I go back to it. So in the fisherman scene, instead of calling that signal, Right, let's see if that still spawns my fishing line. Nope, it doesn't. That be global position as well. Yep, right, so we've got that spawning. So we're going to get rid of that because we're not using that method anymore. So now there'll be a fishing line on screen, so let's have a look at the fishing line scene. Fishing line and then hook. Set it to go back up. I'm not sure whether that will actually work or not. Depends whether that's in the scene, but we're checking. So we can now, that works. So we can cast, change our mind, bring it back up. Let's check that I've not broken anything with the actual fishing. Let's try and catch this shark before it disappears. There. Is that going to do it? Yes, so there we catch the shark. What I need to figure out now is a way of getting rid of that shark at that point. So that'll be something that I'm looking at this afternoon. But what we'll do, I'm going to call that it for this stream. Hopefully I may get a chance to stream a little bit more of this evening towards the end of the jam. But what we'll do, we'll go give Ollie Boy a raid and we'll see where he's up to with his Godot Wild Jam game. He's making a game called Bio Barracuda. It's coming on nicely from what I was seeing in the last stream. So let's go say g'day to Ollie Boy down in Australia. Thanks everybody for joining. Casper Dragonwolf with the raid and the subs earlier in the stream. And everyone that came in with that raid, thanks for sticking around. And everybody else that's been here, thanks for coming. And I'll catch you all hopefully later on today.